like clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual.
What is going on, guys? It's Wraith here, back with another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be going over another 5 unbelievable controller players, I guess you can say. I'm going to have the title of the name console. Suck it, I don't care. It's for publicity reasons. I know there's a difference between controller and console players, but hey, stick with it. But the last video, a lot of you guys got mad because there's a couple people that you guys thought should have been on the list, or I personally don't think should be on the list, but are easily top 10 controller players in the world 100%. So I've decided to make the second part of this video. The last video had a couple people, so they won't be mentioned. People like Nick Mercs, Neo Rooch, Ghost Aiden, Ghost Camo, like people like that. So that's why they're not going to be mentioned in this video, as well as Izza. But these are another top 5 best controller players in the world. Again, let me know if I'm missing anyone in the comments, and I'll try and make it even in part 3 of this video if you guys really want to. If you guys don't know, I will be streaming at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, or Pacific Standard Time, and then 4:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. Link is in the description for my Twitch, so make sure you check that out. I will be playing with people. I will be just chilling with you guys. You can ask me questions, whatever. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Let's get right into this video. Make sure you like the button, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and use creator code WraithFN in the item shop. Let's get right into it. So coming in to the number 5 spot, we have FaZe Sway. You guys probably spammed about 90% of my comments of the last controller video was, where's FaZe Sway? FaZe Sway is the best player in the world, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to break it down for you guys right now. Sway is the best creative player in the world. In my opinion, no doubt. There's no one better than him. Obviously, people can beat people in 1v1s. You guys mentioned that a lot. Oh, well, Aiden got beat by Innocence in a 1v1. Doesn't mean he's a better player than him, right? So what I think is, I think Sway's an unbelievable creative warrior. He's a very, very good pub stomper. Don't get me wrong. He drops 30 pumps. He's a very good mechanically skilled player. Yet when it comes to competitively, he doesn't do that good. That's why I didn't have him in the top 5 list, because competitively he's done like he hasn't done very well, like as good as other players have, such as Aiden or Nick Mercs or those type of players. Sure, he's better mechanically than them, yet when it comes down to it IQ wise and competitively, he just isn't there. That's why he wasn't in the last top 5 controller player video, but in this one I think he does deserve a spot because he is mechanically unbelievable. He's probably the best mechanical player on controller. There we go. But again, he's not the best competitively, but we got to add him on the list. He's just so good overall. But yeah, that's basically it for number 5, and now let's move on to number 4. Now coming in to number 4, we have the first member from Ghost Clan in this top 5 videos, and it is Ghost Innocence. Now he is probably one of the best pub stompers in the world. I always remember watching him back in like season 6, season 7, and he always was holding the solo squad record, the solo record. I think he had like a 30 kill solo game. He was one of the first ones. Absolutely incredible. He's just so good at playing solos, like especially solo squads, etc. And yes, he has done very well in the World Cup. Not unbelievable, but he has done well in the World Cup, so he definitely does deserve a spot on this list. A lot of you guys are talking about how he beat Aiden in a 1v1, etc, etc. And like I said, just because they beat someone in a 1v1 doesn't technically mean they are better than them. For example, like I could beat Tfue out of 10 rounds probably. I could probably beat him at least once. Doesn't mean I'm better than him, right? There's different scenarios, different things can happen. You can scuff your builds, you can get unlucky, someone can phase through, etc, etc. But don't get me wrong, Ghost Innocence is an absolute monster, especially with the solo squads, solo play. He is so good, and he's not as mechanically gifted as FaZe Sway in my opinion. He just keeps it very basic. He kind of reminds me of Nick Mercs. He's just very basic. He has a little bit better building and editing. I don't think he has high as an IQ as Nick Mercs, but he just keeps things very basic. Doesn't do anything that like astonishes people, but he just uses his L2 properly. He's very good overall at knowing when to take fights, and that's why he's number 4 at this list. Now let's move on to number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have the second Ghost member, and this is Ghost Assault. So I honestly didn't know too much about this guy. Like I kind of knew who he was, but not really before a lot of you guys commented on my last video about him. And I started to do a little bit of research, and he kind of reminds me a ton of Ghost Innocence and all of these controller players. Like he's an absolute beast pub stomper. He's done very, very well pub stomping. He has like a 37 kill solo squad, etc. Or not solo squad, but like duo squad, etc. like that. He's absolutely incredible. Again, all these, I don't know why, but I think it's because all these controller guys are so good at solo squad. It honestly blows my mind. Like, again, Face Away, Innocence, these, like, Assault, and people, like, later on this list, they're so good at solo squads, and I don't really understand why. Is it because, like, I think it's honestly because they just keep things simple. Like, if you watch people like Mongrel or even really good PC, like, keyboard and mouse players, they try and do a little bit too much, which sometimes doesn't work for them. Like sometimes they'll mess up or whatever. Yet a lot of controller players can't do too much with building or editing, so they just keep it very simple. They rely a lot on their L2, which isn't a bad thing. You have L2 in the game, you may as well use it, right? So they're very intelligent with their style of play. They know how their style of play works, and obviously it works for them. That's why I think they're so good at solo squads, but honestly, I really have no idea. But yeah, that's basically it for number 3. Let's move on to number 2. Now, coming in to number 2 spot, we have probably my favorite controller player in the world, and it is FaZe Jarvis. Now, if you guys haven't watched him before, I highly recommend watching him. He is hilarious. He's probably one of my favorite people to watch streaming overall, not just controller players. And I feel so bad. If you guys know what happened with him in his story. So basically what happened was the first time he was around 6-7 points, I think, from qualifying for the World Cup. And he got a 6-minute queue time on his last game, which if you guys don't know, like a one game can literally get you 25-30 points if you play it, if you win and get like a 10 kill game. But even if he dropped like 4 or 5 kills and placed decently high, he had a chance at qualifying for the World Cup, which for most people obviously is the best thing you can do in your Fortnite career. So he is super bummed about that. And then I think 2 weeks after that, the exact same thing happened. He was around 17 points, so a decent amount away from qualifying, and he got screwed by a 7-minute queue timer. But again, obviously 17 points is a lot, but you never know. That could have been a pop-off game. He could have won the game with 10-15 kills. You never know what's going to happen, but unfortunately got a little bit screwed there. I think he's a very good player. He relies on L2 a ton. Like, he is one of the biggest L2 spammers I know, but hey, it works for him, so you do you, Jarvis, you do you. But basically that's number 2. Now let's move on to number 1. So coming in to number 1, we have a player, again, I didn't really know until he joined this org, and that is KNG Unknown. A lot of people in KNG, no one really knew about. Like, they've performed very well over and over again. And then once they joined KNG, like, they kind of got a lot more recognition. And KNG Unknown deserves recognition. He is a 2-time qualifier on controller, and he is an absolute god. There was a really good pickups from KNG. Like, if you watch some of his gameplay, like, you can see it in the background, he is extremely intelligent with how he plays. He also is very gifted mechanically for a controller player. And yeah, basically he is one of the best controller players in the world, like top 5. He probably could have made the top 5 last video. That's how good he is. Like, probably over Nick Merckx or Ghost Aiden or those guys. He is an absolute god. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Like I said, I will be streaming Sunday, which is tomorrow, if you guys watch this video today. I really hope you guys come check me out. If you just want to chill, again, you can ask me questions. Anything you guys are wondering, like if you hit a plateau, you need to work on some aiming, if you need to work on some confidence, whatever it is, let me know. Join my Twitch and comment down below. Comment during the live, and I'll try my best to help you guys out. If you want to play some games, I'll be playing with people throughout the day. Obviously, a lot of it I will just be grinding, but if you guys do want to play with me, that will be the best way of playing with me. And yeah, so 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, and I think 4:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. And hopefully I'll see you guys there. It's at, again, links in the bio, or you can just look up. Why am I stuttering so much? Link is in the bio, or you can look up WraithAM on Twitch. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and use creator code WraithFN in the item shop. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.